Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Our Hometown Office Hours. My name is Matt Larson. I'm the president and CEO of Our Hometown. And today we've got on the call with us from our publisher support team, Terry and Vera. Welcome, both of you.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Hi,
Terry.
Matt.
Good morning, Vera, or good afternoon. Now, what we're going to do today is follow up on today's newsletter. This is actually working out really well, this new time slot. So we're doing our newsletters every Tuesday now, just on Tuesdays, and they've got really important stuff in them. So if you're seeing this, but you're not getting the newsletter, definitely email ops and we'll make sure that we get you on the list. But this is a great example. This week's newsletter is on a password reset that we're doing. So definitely need your attention on this. This is just some proactive actions that we're taking here. We haven't had any kind of security issues this year. Nothing to be concerned of. No one's been hacked or anything like that. This is purely preventative. So what we're trying to do is get you all to reset your passwords, because we can't see your passwords, but we can see the strength of them. And many of you, unfortunately, many editors out there on our platform have weak passwords. You cannot use things like that anymore. There was a time where you could use password with a 0 instead of an O or something. But at this point, it's not even about people figuring it out. It's computers. They're trying random things. When they're filling in your password, they try the most common things. They've got this huge list of passwords that they try. So it's just the world that we live in now. We have to reset our passwords regularly. So let's talk about this letter here. I'm just going to read this first sentence to make sure I hit all our key points. So our hometown will be requiring all publishers and other newspaper staff to change their passwords beginning on Thursday, December 10th, as part of a routine system-wide security enhancement process. So it's going to start on December 10th. Not everyone's going to have it reset on December 10th. This isn't going to happen for you necessarily on Thursday, but it will start for some of you then. This is mandatory. This is a mandatory password change, and it's going to be required for any users that exist on your site with a role other than subscriber. So we're talking about the users that log into the dashboard. So in other words, any user with the ability to edit and publish content or otherwise customize the website. So again, just want to stress this. Your subscribers do not need to change their password. That would be a much bigger project. But we're going to be doing this just for the people that have access to the back end, because that's really where the vulnerabilities are. Someone can hack a subscriber account and they're not going to have access to really anything valuable. Well, of course, the news content's valuable, but you know what I mean? No credit card information or anything like that. So then this is just a little bit of the background here. During our year-end review here, our engineers have discovered that several of your staff accounts, not everyone's, but they have weak passwords. So there's absolutely no indication, again, I want to stress this, that nothing has been compromised, even though there are weak passwords out there. They do present a security risk, and we just want to eliminate it, because it's a simple thing to eliminate. It's one thing that we can control in this world of cyber warfare, with everyone out there trying to do crazy stuff. So in order to do so, we're instituting the following measures over the next few weeks. Okay, so let's go through these one at a time. We're going to try to highlight these again in a future newsletter, the really key ones. But first of all, when setting passwords, if you're onboarding new people, or if you're just resetting your own passwords, we're going to require medium strength or higher. Ideally, you have a high, super strong password with all kinds of characters, capitals, lowercase, numbers, totally random, not a word of any kind. You just want it to be something that's honestly difficult to memorize, but then, there's many services that will remember your password on your browser, and that's okay, as long as it's secure. Now, let's see, and we're just not gonna allow weak passwords going forward. That used to be something that we did allow occasionally, but that's just something we've decided to not do anymore. All accounts with a role other than subscriber, again, starting on Thursday, will be prompted to create a new password. So even though you're already logged in, we're going to, so for anyone that's logged in now, we're going to prompt you to create a new password. And when you do that, when you follow those instructions, you'll create the new password. WordPress will automatically log you out because it's going to log you out of all the devices because it's detected the password change. But you don't. You just have to log back in once, and you'll be fine. Okay, and then the last main point I want to make sure we get in here: all accounts with a role other than subscriber that have not logged in during the past 6 months will have their password automatically reset to a randomly generated high-strength password. So basically, if you're not, so these 3 cases should account for all types of users. Terry or Vera, do you have any questions on those?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Sure.
I just wanted to say that because of people using Google or some other password saver, that they want to manually log in and not use their autofill, because that'll put the old password in. Once you manually log in, you can elect to save it, but I can see that being a
Right. Really, really good point. Actually, when we first started using LastPass, I kept having that happen to me. So, okay, so then no autofill. That's another really good FAQ that we can include in the next newsletter. I guess one thing I'll say on this, when I was reading it, I was like, how are we going to know what the password is? Because we never email passwords to customers. So what this is it's going to reset it, and it's basically going to temporarily lock you out. But you're the only one that has access because you control your email. So you can go in, it's going to say your password's been changed. You're not going to have any idea what it is because it's going to be very secure. So you just reset your password manually. That's how you'll handle that. Okay. Any other questions or comments, either of you? That was a good one.
Yes. Just want to stress 2 things. First of all, it's going to be a rollout. It's not, everybody's not going to be impacted by this at one time, because we are anticipating a lot of emails and that sort of thing. And, we don't want to be bombarded. And the other thing is, whether or not you change your password before the rollout isn't going to affect anything. You're still going to have to change it when it rolls out. So it's not necessary to change your password before the rollout. It won't help.
Right. It's not going to allow us to skip it. You're just going to have to set it again, and then it's going to have to be something new. So you might as well just,
wait until you get the notification.
Right. Okay. And we addressed Cecile's question. You're going to be prompted to create a new password. So you go onto the website, and then all of a sudden, in the next few weeks, you're going to be prompted. It's not necessarily going to be on Thursday, but it will happen. What else? Was that the only other? Oh, let me check those tickets really quick. Was that the only other one?
No, the other one was Connie. She's used the same password forever and ever and ever. So.
Right. Okay, yeah, and I can sympathize with this objection. You're in the normal workflow. I understand that, but the bigger point here is that having the same password for years on all different accounts is a huge security risk. If you got hacked by any one of those, those criminals are going to go in there and immediately try all your other accounts with the same password, and it could just be, I hope you're not using any kind of financial services with these passwords. This is not a wise decision. There are plenty of services out there to make this easier, though. Vera mentioned the Google Password Reminder. You have that right on your Chrome browser. You don't even need to do anything. You can just use that. As long as you don't, when you reset it, make sure that you reset the password save so it doesn't keep auto refilling the same old one, like Vera said. But
another point with that, with Google Chrome, is you can sync your other devices. So that
That's right. All these Chrome or all these browser password reminders like LastPass or Chrome, they're going to work as long as you're using Chrome, on all your devices. Then it'll just, it's beautiful that way. It's really the way to do it. It just authenticates you on the browser level. So yeah, those would be something. Maybe we can throw an idea out there, just like use the Chrome password generator or LastPass. Use Chrome. I think LastPass is actually free for just individuals, but if you wanted to do like a group, like a company for for your whole paper, shared passwords, there is a fee for that. But everyone could just set up their own account to manage pretty much all their online accounts. It's pretty sweet. So use Chrome password reminder, LastPass. Okay, so again, we're going to be rolling these out over the next few weeks. Sorry about the inconvenience on this, but really it's a very good preventative measure. It's going to prevent tons of headache down the road in the case that something should ever happen. We really are focused on security. That's our #1 priority. So what else we got here? Unless there's anything else on this, I think we can move on to a couple other announcements from today's newsletter. Let's see here. I just want to bring everyone's attention to where the blog is, just in case you don't know. Right on the homepage, we got the most recent stories here. And well, last week, might as well just highlight this real quick. We did the virtual conference. We did it on a Tuesday. It was a little unusual for us, but we did it in partnership with this Lion Publishers Association. And it went very well. We talked about the 6 top innovations that we saw on our hometown customer sites this year. They're all described here in detail, but you can see the whole presentation here. It's embedded as a YouTube video. So check that out. Then next week, I've got some exciting events going on. Word has been getting out, I guess, from all these videos and webinars we've been doing. We've been getting a lot of good press in, National Newspaper Association and other channels, the America's Newspapers, Lion, and I guess people are hearing about it. So I've been contacted by the Illinois Press Association to present, and we're going to be doing one of our standard virtual conferences. It's kind of becoming one of these webinars that we just do a lot on digital subscriptions, and we're going to be focusing on increasing digital subscriptions, the strategies for growing that subscriber base. We did one very recently, actually, that was open to the public. This one is going to be just for the Illinois Press Association members. So I know we've got a couple papers in Illinois. If you are members of the association, it's free to register here. So you can go to our blog post and do that. And then another paywall session next Friday. So that one was next Thursday. This one's next Friday. For the Iowa Newspaper Association. This is pretty cool. What they're doing, they've got this thing called the Online Media Campus. That's what they're calling it. They're not really calling it the Iowa Association, because I think Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota are doing like a joint conference this year. So they're kind of joining forces. So I think this is like a shared series of events, a lot like our virtual conference. They have webinars for attendees, for members of the association. And so you can come here if you are a member, if you live in Iowa and you're a member of the Iowa Association, or I think it's Wisconsin and Minnesota. But this should be pretty cool. We're going to be doing another, here it is, another repeat. This one, the Rethinking Paywalls talk, which we've done twice now, one for NNA and one on our own. So this is a very good presentation, tons of useful information. We're going to go through the common paywall models. I just got approached last week, I want to say, by a large group of newspapers, free print newspapers that want to launch a paywall. And so we talked about meter, registration wall. I mean, really, there's options for every type of publication. And I think if you're seeing the writing on the wall that we're all seeing, that the future is going to be through subscriptions and not entirely with digital advertising, it's going to be mostly subscriptions, then I hope that you'll attend this and you can just see all the tools that you have at your disposal. So you've got your paywall. So this is about rethinking paywalls. So forget all your assumptions from pre-2020, what you thought you knew about the newspaper industry, about news, about the world. I mean, it's all those assumptions should be questioned. So whether or not a free newspaper can charge for content online, I think is a great assumption that should be questioned. The fact that I'm saying it's assumed that they cannot, and I think that they can. So anyway, paywall options. We'll also talk about some of the marketing strategies. That's always part of it, but it'll be mostly just talking about the different paywall models on this one. Okay, those are some of the happenings, some of the upcoming events. Not too many virtual conferences this month. We're going to take a little break here at the end of the year with all the holidays, but we'll be starting those up again in January. All right. Anything else to cover today, Terry or Vera? Any other FAQs you want to hit on while we're here that we can have Stephen clip out? Or are we good?
I did have one if we have time.
Yeah, I got time. Definitely.
Okay. We actually get this question fairly frequently. Mm-hmm. It's more of a panic email that we get.
Okay. That's a good one.
Why did my special section take over my regular edition spot on my homepage? And what this comes down to is just really naming your special section.
Okay. Right. I do recall seeing that. Yeah, it's just recently.
Somebody asked us that twice in one. I mean, we had 2 publishers in one day ask us this last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's show everyone. Do you happen to have a site up that you can just show us?
Yep, I do.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn over the control to you. All right, go ahead.
Okay, this is the Jamestown Press in Rhode Island. And they run their regular edition over here on the default sidebar.
Right.
And then they also have a special sections carousel down here in the middle of their page. Okay.
Right.
What happens when publishers try to put up a special section, they go through the same steps because, I mean, it's reasonable to think it should be done the same way as the regular edition because you're just uploading PDFs. But the difference is, let's go to the dashboard. Second here, we'll go to PDFs, all PDFs. Okay, you'll see the differences in how the editions are named. Okay. Here's your regular edition, here's your special section, and also the category.
Right.
Okay, special sections go in a special sections category, but I want to take a look at this one real quick.
Okay.
If we look at the right-hand side, okay, we selected special sections as the category rather than e-edition. Even though it is an e-edition, technically, it still needs to have that special sections category. This is part of the reason that it's taking over the regular e-edition. So make sure special sections is checked.
Okay.
And then when you name your edition, you go to type, and this is, a little misleading because you go to type in your name and this calendar pops up.
Right.
So this is the second mistake. The publishers are just selecting a date because it really does say add your edition date.
Right.
But underneath, it's kind of like a little disclaimer type thing. Please use your year, month, day format or text with no spaces for special sections.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you want to do is add your text. This text is basically creating the slug or the tail end of your URL. This is how URL knows where it's going. This is why you don't want spaces. And it usually will come out as all small letters anyway. We can look at the permalink up here. Oh, I guess it does come out.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
so this is what you're creating when you your edition, and that's why it's important not to have any spaces. So just 2 things when you're putting up a special section. You're going to upload it exactly the same as you do in e-edition, but you want to choose the special sections category and name your edition correctly rather than giving it a date because you're creating this part of your URL.
Exactly. That's a really good point. I have a couple things to mention there. So just about the URL naming. What would happen if they did use spaces? Do you know?
The link won't work. It won't work.
The link won't work. Okay, I thought maybe that it would put like those percentages in there. It's like %n or something. Some code.
Yeah, it's %, and it won't work.
it just won't work. But will it even save the article, and then the URL just won't work at all? Or will it
Yes,
save
I believe it will. It'll save it, but the URL won't work.
Okay, got it.
So you end up with, if you try to click it, you're going to get that black screen.
Right.
Or a
Okay.
message that says no PDFs exist.
Oh, right. Okay, that screen. Yes. Okay, got it. All right. Well, that's a good side tip on the naming. But I think the main thing that directs it, as with all the widgets, is the category. That's the case, like with every widget on your homepage. So if you did put it in the e-edition, it's going to show up there. You're probably going to just want it in special sections. So yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
That's good. That is the good one. Yep, let's definitely clip that one out. It's a high yield one. Vera, anything else that you want to bring up today, or any other big issues over the last week that you've noticed?
There is one. It has to do with memberships. I had a customer call in, and she couldn't figure out why one of her subscribers didn't have an extension on their readership. And come to find out, she took the payment in-house, but didn't create a brand new transaction for the customer in MemberPress. So that's very important. And if you're not sending us the CSV files with the updated content, to make sure that the transactions are recorded. Otherwise, it's not going to change, and the customer is going to get the expiry reminder.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Do you remember which paper this was? Just curious.
Daily Courier.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's see here. I would just advise people then, if this is something that you're doing a lot, where you're extending manually in the office or selling subscriptions in the office, then just like Vera said, you want to be exporting a CSV from whatever system you're using to manage that, and make sure that gets into MemberPress. Ideally, you could just sign the person up right through the website. That'd be even better, I think. So they hand you their credit card, or whatever, they write you a check, you do it all right in MemberPress right then, so then they have instant access. They don't even need to wait for you to export the list from your other system and import it. So they could log in right on their phone in the office there. That might be a little bit better. But if you're stuck in a system, maybe you're using a circulation system for print and digital, and so you want to manage all the financials for both in there. It's just, you got to keep them in sync if you're going to do that. We actually do have a customer though that is about to launch MemberPress as her print and digital circulation management system, and we're going to have a publisher interview with her in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Actually, probably early new year. So there are options to eliminate these steps of updating two systems, and it's these days, with everything being stretched so thin, you got to look for every efficiency that you can. You can't be doing duplicate work. So that's a good one, Vera. Thank you very much for that. So just a reminder to always create the transactions on current members. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's good for today. Just a half hour, pretty short one, but we'll follow up next couple days. Probably on Thursday, we'll send another newsletter out with some more of these tips on the password change.
And also, we're requesting holiday schedule changes too.
Oh yeah. Maybe we could also send that Thursday. I don't know. We don't want that message to get lost, or vice versa. So maybe we'll just do the password Thursday, and then I was planning on doing Tuesday the holiday message. But maybe what we could do, if you want to write Jack a ticket for this, or James, just to write on the dashboard that message. It might already be there. The dashboard on everyone's sites.
Yep.
We should call that like dashboard alerts or something. It looks like there's no message there now, so we could put that in there. Or at least there's none on my demo site. Yeah, that's a really cool thing we should be using more.
Yeah, OHT alerts.
OHT alerts, yep. Very cool. All right, anything else you can think of?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good.
Sounds good. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you both. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Sounds good, Matt. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
No problem. Have a great day.